Today we're going to be going over another routine and starting with the core. We're going to be on a one gray spring on the Megacore or one white spring on the Xformer. The first exercise is a seated crunch, placing our feet underneath the front platform strap, making sure that we sit all the way forward on the carriage. Arms extend out, lower the back or the chest down, and lengthen the legs to start. From here, we bend the knee, lift the chest, connecting the knee and the chest together, and then lengthening the leg, lowering the chest or the back. From here, we would swing our legs over to the carriage, stay on the same spring load, up onto the hands, up onto the toes, into a plank to pike, lifting the hips up, lowering the hips down. Then we would go down to the knees and down to the forearms with your palms down or up, pushing the carriage back into a modified plank, and then we would push the carriage back, pull the carriage forward. From here, we would bend our knees forward, back up onto our hands, and back up onto our toes for a Panther, bending the knees underneath the hips to bring the carriage in, and lengthening the legs to send the carriage out. And that completes your ab and core routine. From here, we grab the handlebars and we stand up on the front platform. The first exercise is a platform lunge. Left foot on the platform, right toe behind you on the carriage, lowering down and coming up out of a lunge. Then into a single leg squat, turning to pivot, left foot all the way forward, right toe diagonally back, performing this exercise like a deadlift. So we really load the glutes and the hamstrings and prevent the knee from going forward, which is why our legs are staggered or diagonal, sitting back and down like a deadlift. After these two light exercises, we come down and we go to 2 black, 2 gray. If you're on an Xformer, it would be 5 white light or 1 black heavy. Then we would tuck our left foot under the front platform strap, lift up the carrot strap and tuck our right toes and balls of feet against it, and then meet low into a sprinter's lunge. You can be in an upright angle or hinged. I believe that most people like this exercise in a hinged position. Then we would step forward, turn around, and then kneel down for the last exercise on the same spring load, and that would be bungee. We put the bungee through the left foot on the heel. Easier is kneeling on the platform. More difficult is kneeling on the carriage. We must have our knees wide apart and then come down to our forearms. And if the bungee is through the left foot, like you see on camera, the opposite hand holds the side of the carriage. From here, we lift the left leg up to a 90-degree angle, hold on with the right hand to the side of the carriage, and stamp the ceiling with our foot, or point our toes and poke the ceiling with our foot. This toe pointing is going to help a lot with people that have the problem that I have. I'm going to turn so that you can see. Now, in this position, when I stamp the ceiling with my foot, you can see that my pinky toe is turned outwards to the left side. So in order for me to fix this, I just turn my toes to the ceiling and then I poke the ceiling up and down. We hold on to the side of the carriage so that we can lean so that our hip is in line with our knee. And that way we can really make sure that we're in proper form. And that is the leg block. From there, we have another spring change so that we can go back into light leg exercises. Then we stand up and do first the platform lunge, right foot on the platform, left toe behind you. Then we stand up and pivot, moving the right foot all the way forward, the left toe diagonally back, performing the single leg squat as if it was a deadlift. Then we would kneel down and go back to those heavy spring loads, 2 black, 2 gray, or Xformer 5 whites, or 1 black, which is harder. And we'd come up, right foot under the platform strap, right toe against the carriage strap to meet in an isometric lunge, hinged or not, performing your sprinter's lunge. Then after that, we just step forward, turn around, kneel down, same spring load, putting the bungee through our right foot, lowering down. If the bungee was through my right foot, my left hand opposite to that leg would hold on to the carriage, lift up, and you have the option to either stamp or poke. And that is the leg block. Now, after the leg block, the person wanted to do a torso twist, which is on 1 black spring, 2 to 3 on a Xformer. So that's another spring change. And then we kneel on the carriage for that torso twist. The target oblique is the one on the left side facing the springs. So that means this hand that is associated with the target oblique will hold the short hard handle. The other hand will go into this triangular hole to cup the other hand, arms in front, and we rotate from the upper part of our body. Now, if someone can't take it out of their upper body, all they need to do is lower their hands lower to their belly button. And when all else fails and they can't get it out of their shoulders or arms, if you bend the elbows, hands the chest, with the elbows outwards and perform this, they should feel less upper body and much more core and much more obliques. Now, after this torso twist, we have to drop the cable, change the spring again to a 1 gray spring, 1 white on an Xformer, knees all the way forward, down to the forearms to push the carriage back and swing our legs off one side, the left, for our side kneeling crunch. So you can see that it doesn't really work well because the first oblique exercise required a different one from the second one. So I would just keep it all the same. So if they wanted to, they could do the torso twist and stay on that spring load and not change for the side kneeling crunch, and then kneel down facing the back. And they would put the strap through their left foot and go into an oblique sweep, which is on the same spring load. The knees would move back, knees would move wide, hands hold the side of the carriage. And then we'd bring the left leg down to the ground and sweep our leg back as so. And that way we stay on 2 cable exercises for obliques, and they are the same spring load. So from there, all he or she would have to do is take the strap off, drop it on the floor, grab the other strap, face the other direction. Right oblique is closer to the springs, so the right hand will hold the handle, left hand will go in the triangle, and then do that oblique sweep and perform that torso twist. Then kneel down facing the back, putting the strap through your foot, and then doing that oblique sweep. If the person didn't want to do torso twist, then I would just make it a twisted plank to pike and change to a light spring. And they would have toes all the way forward, hands on the platform. You have the option to keep your legs together and just turn for people who have tight hips, or you can cross the left leg in front of the right leg, under, in front, not over. Then you would turn the toes to the right because whatever oblique is the target faces the floor. And I would do a twisted plank to pike and then keep the original side kneeling crunch where you get off the wrist down to the knees, swing the legs off to one side to lift, round, and crunch. And that is my block for the obliques. For the end of the routine, the exercise is going to be on the carriage. And if you were to keep it on the same spring load as torso twist and oblique sweep, you wouldn't have to change the springs. You would just pick up the other cable, kneel on the carriage facing forward to perform a serve the platter where your arms are in front of you. We need to remember that the fingers go forward, palms go up to the shoulders, and then elbows go down, stopping by our sides. From here, we go into a shoulder press. Make sure that when you do shoulder press that we're not going up, because those that have shoulder problems will feel it a lot in their shoulders. And also when you go upright, you kind of feel like the cables are pulling you back. Therefore, I like a hinged position. You can see that my glutes are above my heels. My arms are by my side like a cactus or like I'm surrendering. I'm looking down and slightly forward to the springs to keep my neck in line with my spine as I extend my arms diagonally is the key word, overhead. The third exercise is a tricep extension. You can have this with your fingers interlocked or holding the handle separately and bringing your knuckles together. We can be in an upright position, looking down and slightly forward, or we can maintain that hinged position, just like that shoulder press, looking at the springs. And then the final one is turning around and then finishing with a bicep curl. Remembering that if we were to do a bicep curl and people feel it in their traps, which are the neck muscles that are in between the shoulders, then they could lower their elbows down lower to take it out of the traps, and that way they can focus more on the bicep. So the only thing that I would change is the second and third exercise. If you notice, the shoulder press is an overhead exercise, and then the third exercise is a tricep extension, another one over the head. So that could burn out people's shoulders, and by the end of the whole routine, people's shoulders are already dead. So I would start with the shoulder press going diagonally overhead, then go into a serve the platter, getting it out of the shoulders and bringing the arms directly in front, and then bringing it overhead again to perform the tricep extension. And that way, when you go and turn the other way, the bicep curl is not overhead. So that would also relieve the shoulders and finish strong. After the bicep curl, they would just toss the cables to the floor, turn around, and then just stretch. So the rule of thumb for any exercises on the carriage using the long black straps is anytime you move towards the springs, it's going to make it heavier. And anytime you move away from the springs, it's going to be lighter, no matter if you're facing the back or if you're facing the front. And that is my routine review for this instructor.